we're going to start off with some revision on exponents, or in this case, we're going to be looking at algebra, and then we're going to ease our way into integers. And before we do this, we're going to be looking at our exponent laws. They also apply to algebra as well, because exponents are basically part of algebra as well. All right, law number one is multiplication. So I know that if I have like bases, if my bases are the same, I will keep my base, keep the base, and I will add the exponents. Okay, so if I have 2 to the power of a times 2 to the power of b, I'm not going to say 4 to the power of b. That's not how it works. I'm going to keep the base that I have, which is 2, and I'm just going to write 2 to the power of a plus b. So that's something very important to keep in mind. Now, if like bases are being divided, like x to the power of a divided by x to the power of b, I'm going to keep my base and I'm going to subtract my exponents. Now, my law 3 is power to a power. Now, the way I remember this one is if I have an exponent up top here and I have a bracket, I know that the exponent outside needs to be multiplied with the exponent inside, because a bracket in algebra means multiplication. That makes it much easier for us to remember. Okay, same with distributive laws. If I have my bracket over here and a c on the outside, I distribute just like I would when I do algebra. So I'd go c times a and c times b, but I will also keep my base, guys. Remember, the base, keeping the base the same is very, very important. Okay, then definitions, some of the definitions we need to know: that anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. 16,000 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. My donkey wearing a hat to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So we need to remember that. Very, very important. Okay, Anna says, can I zoom a little bit? Let me see what I can do for you, Anna. Okay, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit, and then you'll tell me if you can see a little better. Give me a thumbs up in the chat when you can see everything. And now all my markings have moved around. All right, excellent. Okay, so anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay, and when we are answering our paper, they're always going to give us, sometimes our answers are going to give us negative exponents. We do not leave our answers with negative exponents. We always make sure that we turn our negative exponent into a positive exponent by flipping it. So if I have x to the power of negative a, what I actually have here is x to the power of negative a over 1, because anything on its own is over 1. And then what I do is I switch them around. I take the 1 over to the top, and I take the x to the power negative a to the bottom, and then I change the sign. So I flip and I change the sign. All right. I don't know if anybody wants to take a screenshot of this before I continue, because I'm going to show you guys the exercise that you guys can try in just a bit. But before then, can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down? Are we happy with all of these laws? Have we been able to learn all of these laws? And is there any particular law or definition that you'd like me to go through? Hello, Burlington and Yondela. Okay, you guys can give me a thumbs up. Tiana says she's happy. I'm glad. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mirula says, wait. I'm assuming there's a screenshot being taken at the moment. I'll give you a second. Okay. Excellent. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Okay, so we're going to start. I think I'm going to have to move this a little bit. Okay, we're going to start with A and B. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute because these questions are quite easy. So I'm hoping that you guys can answer these in the next minute, and then I'll check in with you guys just now. Okay, and counting. Let's go.
Let's go, my pebs. Let's go. We can do this.
It is not factorization. Remember, we're looking at the rule, Burlington. It says here, simplify. And what simplify means when we're looking at things like this, it either means write it as one thing, write it as one or in its simplest form, or it means take away the brackets. take away the brackets. That's it, Yondela. That's the answer. Okay, we are not factorizing. It says take away the brackets. Okay. No worries. Okay, and just like I said, guys, we always need to leave our answer with positive exponents. Okay, it's very important that we always leave our answer with positive exponents. And Yondela has forgotten the number one rule for B, okay, is that when we have this over here, it means we're distributing to each of these, which means that this 3 or this -3 is actually to the power of 1. So we need to remember what that means. Okay, that was just a hint. Don't forget.
Hint, my pebs, you got that. Yeah, I told you, Chokoko is nice. She's giving us hints. Let's go, my pebs.
All right, I'm going to dive into the answer for number 1. Okay, normally how we remember it, or at the school that I'm at, we call this the SNVP. I know what you guys are thinking. It's not what it means at all. We always multiply the signs first, and then the numbers, and then the variables, and then we add or subtract powers. Okay, depending on what it is that we're doing in this case. Okay, so Deborah also forgot. All right, so the invisible number in front of this x cubed over here is actually a 1. So if I look at my signs, this is a positive and a positive, I'll get a positive answer out. So 1 times 2 will give me 2, and I have the same base x and x, so I will keep my base x and I will add my exponents. That is going to give me 2 to the power of 7. Okay, or 2x to the power of 7. Now with B, guys, remember that I need to distribute, because there's a bracket there, I'm going to distribute in. So 3 multiplied by 1 and 3 multiplied by 2. I'm distributing to my exponents. That's it, linomta. I hope I said that correctly, linomta. Okay, so what I'm going to get is -3 to the power of 3 multiplied by x to the power of 6. Now this -3 to the power of 3 is going to give me -27x to the power of 6. Okay, and we need to remember that. It's very important. The numbers also have a power of 1. Same way, if I have an x sitting by itself, it has a power of 1. If I have a 2 sitting by itself, it also has a power of 1. So we need to make sure that we're distributing to each of those as we go along. All right. So I hope we don't forget that. That's something we've just learned. Okay, we're not going to forget that, not making that mistake in our exams. All right, let's move on to the next one. I think I'm going to have to move down a little bit. Yes, Apiwe. Hi, Apiwe.
Hello, ma'am. Are we not supposed to make the -27 positive?
No, it's not going to be positive. I'll tell you why. Because what we're going to have is -3 times -3 times -3. And my negative times a negative will give me a positive, times a negative will give me a
Positive.
negative. Oh, no, it's going to be negative and negative. These two will give me a positive, and then I'll have a negative times a positive times a negative will give me a
Negative.
negative. There we go. It's a negative.
Okay.
Because the signs are different, then we just do the numbers. 3 times 3 times 3 will give me 27.
Thank you.
Sure, no worries. Okay. So remember that, guys. Make sure we're remembering that as well. Okay, all right. We're going to do the next set of questions. I just want to zoom in a little bit before Marilla tells me she can't see, and I need to make sure you guys can see everything. Yeah. Okay, we are going to do C, D, E, and F, and I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes. And C again is also a trick question. Okay, I'm already giving you guys a hedge, like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. C is also a trick question, so be very careful, guys. Okay, you've got 4 minutes to do C, D, E, and F. And Burlington has fallen for the trick. Okay, all right, we'll talk about it in just a bit. All right, after you've done, you've answered all 3 questions, can I ask you guys, or all 4 questions, can I ask you guys to put the fire emoji in the chat rather than answering each one? Answer all of them, C, D, E, and F, and then just pop the fire emoji for me in the chat. Yes, Tiana, what's up?
Ma'am, I was gonna ask and answer, but we was talking now about the fire emoji. So.
Oh, okay. I need you to mute for me, my sweetie, but don't put your hand down because you're going to explain to us the difference, okay, in just a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sure. Okay, guys, I'll give you a couple more minutes. Burlington says, ma'am, can I do F? If you raise your hand, yes, you can.
That's how I love my people. They are so prepared. It's like,
no,
this question is mine. This one is mine. I know. I love this class.
Exactly. And like, you guys are so eager to answer. And I love that. Loving the energy in this class. Teacher Yolanda, you never told me they're so cool. Now that I know.
No, they're really cool. They are my cool kids.
Absolutely. Piwe, remember, what does this mean? We're not exactly looking for a highest common factor. What would this mean? What does this sign over here mean? It means that we're dividing. Okay, dividing. And we need to remember the law on division. I think it's law 2. I hope we're remembering what law 2 says and how we're going to put it to practice. Okay, we're dividing. All right, Inomta has given me her fire emojis. I'm going to wait for a couple more fire emojis and then we'll get started. And D, I feel like Burlington is getting all the right answers. Is going to help us out. I see you. Thank you, Mirla.
Let's go, my pips. Let's go. We want to see answers on the charts also, so Teacher Coco can see who's getting it right, who's trying, who still needs help. Let's go, my pips.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of fire emojis in the chat, which means many people are done, and that's awesome. We're going to be discussing the answer in like as soon as it says 6:15. We're going to start discussing this answer. No, Deborah, no, we can't. So there's a trick question happening there somewhere. That's okay.
And
That's
Teacher
okay.
Coco, Teacher Coco, just for the hint, my people are also teachers here. You will see when they explain. You will love it.
Oh, I
know.
Okay, let's see. I'm hoping to see all that magic that Teacher Yolanda is telling me about. We'll see in just a bit. All right, I think that's it. We are officially at 6:15. I'm going to ask Tiana, do you want to unmute for me, my sweetie, and tell me what the answer for C is?
Ma'am, so C is 1 because anything to the power of 0 is 1. So C is 1.
Okay. All right, excellent, my sweetie. But we forgot one thing. Is the 3 also to the power of 0?
No.
No.
So
like 3 will stay 3, but x will become
1.
X to the power of 0 will become 1. So what I actually have
Tiana
is 3 multiplied by 1. So 3 times 1, what would the actual answer supposed to be here?
Probably 3.
3. Excellent. See, I told you guys there was a trick there, but love you for trying, Tiana. Very well done. Okay, I think you did that well because you remembered the rule, and that's what we want. But I need you guys to remember there's a huge difference. Now, here's where I think some of us get confused. If I say to you that I've got x to the power of 0, that's going to give me 1. But if I have 2x to the power of 0, that's just x that is equal to 1. Because x to the power of 0 is what is equal to 1. So my answer here is going to be 2. However, if I said 2x all to the power of 0, the whole thing to the power of 0, now everything in the bracket is going to equal to 1. Okay. And the reason for that is because we're going to distribute. I'm going to go 0 and I'm going to take it to 2 and 0 to x. And then I will end up with 2 to the power of 0 multiplied by x to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0 will give me 1, and x to the power of 0 will also give me 1. 1 times 1 will equal 1. Okay, so we have to make sure that we're not mistaking one for the other. Okay, I hope you guys are seeing the difference here. Okay, and I'm seeing that, oh, from Lilita in the chat, I'm thinking she's finally getting it now. Apiwe, do you have a question, my sweetie, or would you like to answer a question?
I would like to answer a question.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to ask Burlington to do number D for me. Can you do
Okay.
E for me?
Sure, I can try.
All right, excellent. That's all I want. Amazing, Apiwe. All right, Burlington, are we ready? Let's do D together.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, we'll have to say how many times, since it said 3/6, we're gonna say we're gonna divide those, then give us half.
Good, exactly. We're going to look for a common factor, and we're going to see that 3 goes into 3 and into 6. So I'm going to divide 3 by 3, and I'm going to get 1. So I'm going to divide by 3, I'm going to get 1, and at the bottom, I'm also going to divide by 3, and I'm going to get 2. So I'm going to get a half. Then I'm just going to extend this because I'm going to get some numbers at the top and another number at the bottom. All right.
Yes.
Then what do I need to do?
Okay, since the exponents are we are dividing, the law of exponent says if you divide, we must subtract the exponents. So
Excellent.
the answer there will be x.
Okay, good. But is my x at the top or is it at the bottom?
I think it should be at the top.
Okay, so remember when we are doing that rule, and you're saying it correctly, Burlington, when we're doing that rule, we always minus the top, or we minus the bottom from the top. So we're going to go x, we're going to keep the x, and we're going to go 2 minus 3. And what's 2 minus 3 going to give me? X to the power of -1. So I would actually get x to the power of -1 here. So what do I need to do with it? If it's a negative, where do I take it?
If it's a negative, I think you take it below.
Good, we take it to the bottom. Excellent. So this would be x here at the bottom, and it wouldn't be at the top. All right. What about my y's, Burlington?
So since we're dividing again, we'll have to subtract 4. We have to subtract 4 by 2, which will give us y to the power of 2, which will write on the
power of 2. And this time it's at the top because it's positive,
yes,
right? Or minus 2 will give. Excellent. Very, very well done, Burlington. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, I just want to show you guys a trick, because I know that sometimes it gets kind of confusing to do these x, and then you're minusing, and then you think that everything is x. Here's what I teach my grade 8s. Okay, if I have x squared is the same as x times x. And if I have y to the power of 4, that's the same as y times y times y times y. And all of this is going to be over 3 x's, because that's x to the power of 3. So I'm going to have x times x times x, and I have y to the power of 2, y times y. Now I can easily just go ahead and cancel, because x divided by x is going to give me 1. So that's going to cancel. And x divided by x is going to give me 1. And I can see from here that I have 1 x left at the bottom. Same with, if I cancel my y's, I'm going to cancel y divided by y will give me 1. Y divided by y will give me 1. And I have 2 y's at the top. And that reflects the answer that I've got over here. You guys see that? So if we're getting confused, we can always just expand. It's very, very irritating. We do it in grade 8 because they're still trying to learn how exponents work, but you can also do this if it's a bit confusing for you where the x to the power of -1 goes and x to the power of whatever. Okay, so you can do this if you get a bit confused. All right, okay. Apiwe, can you do E for me? Are you ready?
Okay, so for E, I started off by saying -1 is going to be times by 1, and it's going to give you
Good.
-1. And then you also times, and then you also times the x by the -1, and it's going to give you x to the power -1. And then also you do the same for the y, and it's going to give you y to the power -2. So then I write down -1 over what -1 over x to the power 1 and y to the 1 and y to the power -2.
Okay, so this is -1 and -2. Excellent. I am a little worried about this negative over here because this negative was actually in my exponent, because this 1 over here was actually 1 to the power of 1. So when I distributed that to the power of 1, what I actually got was 1 to the power of -1, not exactly -1 in the front. Okay, so be very careful. Okay, so my answer is still positive over here. It's still positive. What I actually have is 1 to the power of -1, which is in essence, it's still 1. Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
since x and y is negative, I take x and y to the top, and then I think I bring, and then y also stays at the top. So the answer is going to be 1 x to the x, and then y to the y to the power 2.
Good. I can put it over 1, but it won't make a difference, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me just look at this question. Ma'am, I would like to ask if is it wrong if you say 6 divided by 3 by D? Inga, it depends. Did you end up with an answer that said, did you end up with 2y squared over x as an answer? Because if you did, then yes, you can't do that. It's wrong. Okay. Because the 6 is in the denominator, we need to divide by 3 with it in the denominator. So we can't just decide, I'm going to flip the numbers and then decide that, okay, yeah, now 6 is at the top and 3 is at the bottom. I need to make sure 3 is where it is and 6 is where it is. It's in the denominator. Okay, so if you're saying 6 divided by 3, good, but the answer for 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 2 is in the denominator and not in the numerator. Okay, I'm very sorry, guys. I feel like I'm stressing you guys out. Okay. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Andela. All right, okay, let's have a look at F. Okay, and F is going to do some very interesting thing, guys. Remember, we're looking at multiplying. We're also looking at exponents, and we're looking at rules for algebra. We're putting everything together. Okay, there's the problem right there, Inga. You cannot have 2 at the top. The 2 is at the bottom because the 6 was divided when it was at the bottom. Okay, all right. Burlington, do you mind if I ask Nell to answer F for me? Is that okay? Is that okay? Thank you. Thank you, Burlington. There are a lot more questions coming up. Okay. Guys, keep it up. Keep trying. The more we try, even if we make mistakes, the better we're going to get at it. Hi, Nell.
Hi.
Hello, my sweetie. Would you like to do F for me, or do you have a question?
I'd like to do F.
Excellent. Let's go for it.
First we'll put the exponents times the exponents to.
Good. Yes.
We'll say
excellent.
a to the power of -2 times -2.
That's it.
Then b to the power of 3 times -2.
That's it.
Then we take c to the power of 1 times -2.
Well done.
Then it'll
Excellent. So what do we end up with?
give us the answer.
Mhm.
Then we're gonna have a to the power of 4
Good.
and b to the power of 3 negative the 2 times negative 2.
Okay, but then we're going to have to go 3 times negative 2. So I'm going to have a negative as an answer, and then I'm going to get
Yeah.
3 times 2. What is that going to give me?
So the answer is gonna be a to the power of 2, b to the negative 6,
Good. And c to the power of?
and c equals negative 2.
Okay, excellent. Negative 2. All right. I'm not done though now because I have negative exponents. So what do I need to do?
You have to put it in a fraction.
Good. So I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to put it over 1. And then where does the negative exponents go?
To the bottom.
Good. They go to
To
the bottom. So I'm
the
going to
bottom.
put 8 to the power of 4. And what goes to the bottom?
b
What goes
to the power of 6,
Excellent.
b to the power of 6,
Mhm.
and c to the power of 2.
Excellent. You did that so beautifully. Well done, Neo. Amazing, 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 amazing. You did that very, very well. Well done. Okay, we just distributed all of those in. Okay. All right, Neo, I'm very proud of you. You did this amazing. Well done. That's exactly the answer. 100% top marks for you. Well done. Okay. And Tebo was saying, I miss Brian's mom. So I need to find out who Brian's mom is after a while. I'm going to need to
That's
know.
Teacher Jan, don't worry. And guys,
Is it
today we
Teacher
might
Jan?
not even have Brian because the mother is not around, and also because it's a revision. So y'all need to get through a lot of work. Okay. Y'all are doing really good, my pips. I'm proud of you.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll have to ask Teacher Jen about the story. All right. Okay, guys. So here's the next one, G. Before we answer the question, just like Deboho said, I need you guys, let's talk it out a little bit before we go through this question. Okay. We have a bracket over here and a 2. So what are we going to be doing here, guys? Tell me in the chat, what are we going to be doing with that 2 on the outside of the bracket? Tiana, what are we doing?
Ma'am, so what we're doing with the 2 is we're gonna times it by the exponents.
Good,
But
we're going to be
my
timing it
question
by
also
the
is,
exponents.
do we
Mhm.
times it by the negative 3 also? Or
Exactly, excellent. So I know what's the power of my negative 3 actually?
I'm guessing 1.
It's 1, yes, it's 1. Any number sitting by itself always has an exponent of 1. So we're going to distribute. Okay, now remember, when I have negative 3 squared, something different is going to happen to my sign. Okay, it might not be negative anymore. So I want you to keep that in mind. Okay.
Is it
All
gonna
right,
be
guys.
like a positive 9?
It will be positive 9 because negative 3 times negative 3 would give you?
Positive 9.
That's it. Okay,
And
I'm glad you picked up on that. All right, so now I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes to answer this question. Actually, I'm going to give you guys 1 minute because I feel like I gave you the answer. Okay. Excellent, Dinomta, that's it. All right, I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes to answer the question. And once you're done, we can answer it together. Okay. Give you guys some time.
So many hands, my pips. Y'all are
Oh,
amazing.
sure. You guys are on fire. Absolutely.
Lilita, this might be a right time for you to ask a question. Do you want to raise your hand so you can ask Teacher Coco a question?
All right, she has her hand up. Let me just see. Hi, Lilita.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello,
So-
my sweetie. How can I?
Do you multiply the 2 and the negative 3 as well, or just the exponents?
Yes, just the exponents, because remember, it's not the same as 2 times negative 3. It's negative 3 to the power of 2. We're multiplying exponents. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, there's a difference there. Well done, Tiana. That's it. Finally getting it. I saw it. Not in this case, Christabel, because remember when we use FOIL, it's when we have a binomial multiplied by a binomial. So we'll have x here and x here, or even 3x minus 1 plus 4. Only then can we do FOIL. Okay, so FOIL will not work here. Here we are simply distributing. Okay, we're just using the distributive property. Okay. Excellent. All right, guys, that's our 1 minute up. I wonder, do you think you want to help me out with this question quick?
Yes, ma'am. Is that fine with you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, go for it. Let's hear it.
All right, ma'am. Won't you get positive 9a since the negative 3 squared is square root, obviously, and then 9a to the negative 4?
Good. A to the power of negative 4, because we're going to take 2 and multiply it by negative 2. That's going to give us negative 4. Excellent. What comes next?
And then b to 6, positive 6.
B to the power of positive 6. Excellent. We're going to distribute that as well. I'm not done because I need to leave my answer with positive exponents. So what do I need to do?
Ma'am, won't you, if I'm not mistaken, put 9a to negative 4 b6 over 1? Or am I wrong?
The whole thing over 1. And then what happens to our negative exponent?
You would take it to the bottom, which means there is a change of sign, and it will become 9a.
Give me what I need to write.
So basically, now it would be, if I'm not mistaken, 1 over 1 b6 over 9a to the positive 4.
Okay. All right. I want to remember only the numbers and the letters with negative exponents will move. Everything else that's positive, it stays exactly where it is. Okay. So my 9 will stay exactly where it is. What else will stay where it is?
B to the power 6.
That's it. B to the power of 6 will stay. What goes to the bottom?
8 to the negative 4.
Good. And then it becomes 8 to the power of positive. Okay. Positive 4. That 1 doesn't matter because anything multiplied by 1 is that thing. 2 times 1 is just 2. So 8 to the power 4 multiplied by 1 will just give me 8 to the power 4. Okay. Thank you. You did that so beautifully. We just needed to finish it off properly. Love, love, love you for trying. Well done, Awande.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. All
well
right.
done, guys. Well done, my
I think
pips.
we need to do more. I think we need to do more because the more you do them, guys, the easier they become. And you even pick up on my little tricks. I think these are actually teacher Jen's tricks. Guys, I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not this nice. I write not so nice questions. So teacher Jen is actually being very generous to you guys. Me guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very generous. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more and then we're going to go to our brain break. We just see G. I think this one was supposed to be H. H and I are missing, but we're gonna do this one. We're gonna do H and then we will go back to the brain break. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Make sure we're not making any mistakes. Remember, exponents and algebra, all of it together. Yes, Burlington.
Ma'am, may I please, I'm sorry to disturb everyone who is like writing this down. I just made, please just scroll back a little bit to the last question.
Okay. Let me see if I can't do something here. Let me see if I can't. Oh no, it's disappearing. Oh no. Okay. Yes, to the last question.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask this. How did we get from multiplying the minus 3 and all of the exponents of the letters to making it divide.
Okay, all right, Wellington, let's take it a step at a time. Okay, so do you agree with me that the exponent of -3 is actually 1? Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
I have a number like 2 sitting by itself, it has an exponent of 1, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
if I take -3 to the power of 1 and I take, because we're multiplying the exponents by 2, I'm going to go 2 multiplied by the 1 for -3, the 1 over here that goes to -3. Okay, so what I'm going to end up with is 1 times 2 for the exponent. So I'm going to end up with -3 to the power of 1 times 2 will give me 2.
1 times 2 will give you 2.
Good. Then I've got a, and a has an exponent of -2.
Yes, ma'am.
What is 2 times -2? How much is that
2
going to give
times
me?
-2 is 4. Positive 4.
Not positive 4. Positive 2 times -2 will give us?
Oh, sorry. -4. Sorry, ma'am.
Good, -4, that's it.
Calculation.
And then b over here, b has a power of 3. So I have to go 2 times 3, and that will give us 2 times 3?
Positive 6.
That's
Positive
it.
6.
Now, if we look at this -3 to the power of 2,
Yes, ma'am.
-3 to the power of 2 is the same thing as -3 times -3. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if I have to multiply -3 times -3, what's that going to give me?
Oh, it's gonna give us minus -3 times 2 will give us -6.
Oh, not 2, -3 times -3.
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Because it's an exponent. So it's being multiplied by itself 2 times. What is it?
It will give us 9. To give us positive 9.
Positive 9, exactly, positive 9. And that's where we get this positive 9 over here. You
Yes,
see
ma'am.
it? We've got positive
Yes,
9,
ma'am.
a to the power of -4, and b to the power of 6. Now, what do we know about negative exponents? Wellington, what do we need to do with negative exponents?
Or negative exponents is we need to take them to the bottom so that they may become a
Exactly.
positive.
Good. So we've got a to the power of -4. So we're going to take it down, and it's going to become +4. And that's why it's now sitting at the bottom, and it's a to the power of 4.
Yes,
Have we got it? Excellent. Amazing stuff. All right. Yes.
Ma'am, can I answer the question after number G?
After G, after this one here, or
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I was hoping to
J.
do this one quite quick. Otherwise, we might have to skip our brain break, and I don't think anybody will love me very much if I had to skip the brain break. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me do this one quickly, and then we'll continue after that. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to distribute. Remember, -2 also has a power of 1. So when I distribute, I'm going to make sure 2 times 1, 2 times 2, like that. And I'm going to get -2 all squared and x to the power of 4. And then over here, a minus and a minus is going to give me a positive. So I'm going to end up with positive 3x over here multiplied by -4 x to the power of 3. And wouldn't you guys have it? Look at that. Everything over here is to the power of 0. So this whole thing, guys, pop it in the chat. What will this whole thing be equal to? That's it, Anam. Excellent. The whole thing is going to be equal to 1. So I'm going to have multiplied by 1 here on the end. All right, now we're going to clean this up. I'm going to have -2 all squared, and that's going to give me positive 4x to the power of 4 plus, and then I'm not going to multiply anything by 1, because if I multiply by 1, I'm just going to get the same thing. But I'm going to go, oh, I'm lying. It's not even a plus. I'm going to get a positive times a negative will give me a negative. And then I've got 3 times 4 will give me 12. And then because I'm multiplying like bases, I'm I've got an x here and an x there. I'm multiplying like bases, so I'm going to keep my base x, and I'm going to add exponents. 1 plus 3 will give me 4. And then what I'll notice is that I have like terms. So I'm just going to subtract the numbers. So I'm going to go 4 minus 12 is going to give me negative 8x to the power of 4. Okay. Show of hands in the chat. How many of you guys got this one correct? It's okay if you didn't, guys. It's okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit more practice to get it correct. Tato got it. Yondela got it. Tiana, no. I mean, yes, technically you can cry now. It's better to cry now than in the exam. Okay. And we're learning from our mistakes. Okay. Well done, Patty. Okay. So we're learning now so that later on, when we see the same kind of question, we're not like, oh my God, what do I do? At least now we know what to do. Okay, that's okay, Lilita. It's better we get it wrong now so that later on we can get it right. Okay, we're learning from our mistakes. All right, let's do a quick brain break. All right. And then we'll come back to this one. Here is our brain break for today. Okay, I'll give you guys some time to look at it and tell me what you think. Okay, give me the final answer in the chat. Okay, I thought this one was a pretty nice one. It was quite easy, and you guys can just pop your answers in the chat when you're ready.
Let's go, my babes. Teacher Coco is being nice with you. You guys never get this kind, actually. So this is a nice brain break.
I think this is a nice one, actually. It's a really good one. Oh, look at Apiwe getting it on the first try. Amazing. Oh, Neo may have forgot just a tiny mistake somewhere.
Well done, y'all. This was fast.
That's it. You guys were fast.
Well done, my babes.
Well done, guys. That's it. I think this one was pretty easy, I think. That's it, Apiwe. Well done. Well done, Samkelo and Ayanda. That's it. All right, let's have a look at this one quickly. This one was nice. Okay, so if I have cat plus cat plus cat is equal to 30, that means each of them is going to be 10. 10, 10, which will give us 13. And then when I look at my piggies over here, I know that piggy plus piggy minus cat. So something times something minus 10 is going to give me 22. So what times 20? Oh, what minus 10 will give me 22? It would have to be 32. Okay. She did not leave a dingbat today, unfortunately, Tiana, I'm sorry. Okay, so both of these pigs need to share this 32. So each of them is going to be 16. So this is going to be 16 and 16 because together they need to give us 32. And then I've got here 16 minus horse will equal 11. So that means that horse is equal to 5. And then I can just do some easy mathematics. This is pretty easy. I'm going to get 10 plus 16 plus 5, which is equal to 31. Very well done, guys. Amazing. Yay. Or as we say in grade 7, that's how we do. That's how we roll. All right, guys. Excellent.
The nice jam for grade 7.
Yeah, always a party, always a vibe. All right, well done, guys. Okay, I want you guys to Tiana, you're gonna have so much fun. You should come through. We still don't have X's and Y's in our maths yet, so it's a little too easy for you. Okay, all right, everybody, shake off all the maths. Do a little bit of a stretch. There is not another one. There is no other one, unfortunately, guys. This is the only one that she's given us today. Okay, we're going to get back into it, guys. I think we can do 2 more problems before the end of the lesson. Okay, and you guys, I've seen how capable you guys are of actually doing this. So I can then see from this that you guys can actually figure out the maths. Okay, let's go have a look at more simplifying expressions. Okay, we're going to look at this one next. We're going to look at J. Okay. Sorry about that, Christabel. That's it, Burlington. All right, now guys, I need you to be very careful with this one. Just tell me in the chat quickly, is there brackets around anything? Is there brackets around anything? No, no brackets. So do we need to distribute any of the exponents in this one? No, we don't need to. That's it, Patty. We don't need to distribute because there are no brackets. No brackets for exponents, so we do not distribute. But we do have negative exponents. So you guys know what to do with the negative exponents. Okay? I'll give you guys a minute. Give me an answer when you're ready. That's it. Burlington is going to remember to the bottom until his exams end. In fact, remember to the bottom all the way until you get to matric, guys. Okay, it happens all the way to matric. Ayanda, your answer is almost correct. Almost. You just haven't simplified fully. You haven't put it in its simplest form. Part 2, we're missing a couple of things. Something is missing somewhere. Have a look again. Samkelo, you haven't simplified completely. Ayanda, you also haven't simplified completely. Linomta as well. Okay, Tiana, do you want to help us with this one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go for it. What do I need to do first here?
I say you have to flip it and then change the sign. So on top is gonna be negative 4a.
Ooh, I can't flip the negative. Does the negative 4 have a negative exponent? No, it doesn't. So I can't flip it.
So I can give it to someone else.
Okay, it's fine. It's okay. All right. That's okay. Burlington, do you think you know the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go for it. What do I need to do?
Okay, ma'am. So since we have negative on the top, which is -2, we'll have to take it to the bottom.
Good. So I'm going to draw my division sign like that.
Yes.
Then I'm going to take a to the power of 2 to the bottom. And then what?
Yes, ma'am. Then since it's 2 over 4, then it will be -1 over 2. So we'll first put the 1.
Good. The 1 at the top and the 2 at the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Excellent. Okay, what about this a to the power of -1? What needs to happen to the a to the power of -1?
It has to go to the top.
That's it. Good. It goes to the top. Good. So I'm going to
yes, ma'am.
a to the power of 1 over a to the power of 2, or 2a to the power of 2. Am I done? Am I done, Burlington?
No, ma'am. Yes,
what do I still need to do?
Okay, so since we're dividing, we have to subtract the exponents.
That's it. Excellent. So I still have my -1 over 2, But over here, I have A. And then what am I subtracting, Burlington?
You're subtracting a to the power of 2 from a.
Good. So I've got a to the power of 1 minus 2.
Yes, ma'am. Which will give you're gonna get a to the power minus 1.
Good. A to the power of minus 1. But this a to the power of minus 1 is sitting at the top. What do I need to do to make a positive exponent?
Just to go to the bottom.
That's it. Look at you, Burlington. I cannot believe this. Dude, you're doing amazing. 1 over 2a to the power of 1. Oh, I can't even, like, I need to give you a high five through the, there we go. Excellent. You did that so beautifully. Well,
nice
well
one.
done.
Nice one.
Excellent. Anna, it is not necessary to write the a to the power of 1. You can just leave it as a. Okay, you can just leave it as a. Okay, so I know some of you guys are a little bit confused as to what's happening with all of this, but we need to remember, guys, that numbers and variables and exponents are completely different things. Okay, they're completely different things. So we need to make sure that we're treating them differently. Okay, I see Nyuko saying, ma'am, can you please re-explain? I'm more than happy to. Okay, now let's look at this question again. All right, now remember, I first need to look for my numbers, or let's look at my signs first. I'm going to look at my signs first. At the top, I don't have a sign, so I'm automatically going to assume that it's positive. So a positive divided by a negative is going to give me a negative. So I know that my whole answer is going to be negative. After that, I'm going to look at my numbers. Okay, I'm going to look at my numbers. For my numbers, I have 2 over 4. When I simplify 2 over 4, guys, what am I going to get? Tell me in the chat. What do I get when I simplify 2 over 4? If I write it in its simplest form, what am I going to get, guys? That's it, part 2. Well done, Nico. I'm going to get a half. That's it, Anam. So I'm going to get 1 over 2. I'm going to get a half, 1 over 2. Now, remember what we said about negative exponents. If I have, see, my a is to the exponent of negative 2. If I have a negative 2 at the top, what happens to a variable with a negative exponent? Where does it go? It goes to the bottom. Right, that's it. So my negative 2, a to the power of negative 2 is going to go to the bottom. It's going to sit here next to 2. So at the bottom, I'm going to have a to the power of, the sign is going to change, so it's going to be a to the power of 2. But I also have a to the power negative 1 over here. Where is my a to the power of negative 1 going to go? It's going to go up to the top. That's it. That's it, Mirula. There we go. It goes to the top. So I end up with a to the power of positive 1 at the top. Now, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to get negative 1 over 2. That's all I have. But I also have, guys, don't forget, I have the same base over here. I have same bases. Now, if I see bases that are the same, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep my base. And we are dividing, therefore I need to subtract. I need to minus my exponents. I always minus top to bottom. Top minus bottom. So I'm going to get a to the power of 1 minus 2. Okay, and that's going to give me negative a half. And my a, which is still at the top, is a to the power of 1 minus 2 is going to give me negative 1. And you guys have just said it. I have a negative exponent. So where is my negative exponent going to go? It's going to go down a num. That's it. So it's going to go 2 and it's going to become positive. So I'm going to have 2a. It's also to the power of 1, but I can just write a, or I can write to the power of 1. They both mean the same thing. Okay, can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down? How did we feel about answering this question? I know it was quite a bit of a difficult one. Thank you so much, Teacher Linda, for that.
Yeah, sorry.
I know it's quite a difficult one, guys, and we need to remember to follow the rules. That's why I teach my kids SNVP, signs, numbers, variables, and then powers. Okay, so it's very important that we do it in that order. Yes, Yasmin. Hi, my sweetie.
I'm still quite lost to this.
Is it? Okay, let me give you a bit of an easy example and let's see if you can do it. Okay, so if I have 3x to the power of -3 over 6x to the power of -5. Let's make it a nice one. Okay, Yasmin, remember, we're going to treat our numbers as numbers. We're going to first work with the numbers, and then we're going to work with the variables afterwards. Okay, so if I simplify my numbers, what am I going to get? I've got a 3 here and a 6 here. That's it. I'm going to get a half, but I'm going to write my half as 1/2. Okay. Now, remember the law that says if I have a negative exponent, where does it go?
Down.
Good, it goes down. So my x to the power of -3, I'm going to take it to the bottom. I'm going to take it to the bottom. So that x to the power of -3 is not going to be at the top anymore. It's going to be at the bottom, and then the sign is going to change. What's going to happen to x to the power of -5?
Will it go next to the 1?
Exactly, it will go up. Because it's negative, the only way we can change the sign is if we flip it. Right, we flip it and then we change the sign. So it'll be x to the power of 5. Okay, now I'm not done, Yasmin, because I have an x here and an x here. And if I have bases that look the same and we're dividing, what do we do with the bases? I mean, what do we do with the exponents?
Subtract.
We subtract. Excellent. So I'm going to get 1/2, and then I'm going to keep my base x. And then I always subtract the top exponent minus the bottom exponent. So I'm going to have x to the power of 5 minus 3. And this is going to give me half. And then I'm going to have x to the power of, what am I going to get as my power?
2.
2. That's it. Do I still need to flip it, Yasmin?
No.
No, why not?
It's already a positive.
Good, it's already a positive, so I can keep it there. It stays at the top. Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent, well done, no problem. Okay, Tiana, do you still have a question, my sweetie? Because we are running out of time. There's like 1 minute left, guys.
Okay.
Gal, can you please? Sorry. Yes, you can continue, Tiana.
Okay, ma'am. Say we have variables that are the same. So like say it is a -4 times a 7 times a 7, like a to the power of 7.
Yes.
So do we like do we not have to put the 4 over the 1? Do we just say -4 plus 7?
You can do both, and I'll show you why they'll give you the same answer. Okay, so we can take this whole thing and put it over 1, right? And then we're going to end up with a to the power of 7 over a to the power of 4. Now, what are we doing, Tiana? Are we multiplying or are we dividing?
We're dividing, so we're going to say 7 minus 4.
That's it. We're going to have 7 minus 4, and that's going to give me a to the power of 3, right?
Yeah.
Good. But now, if we do the multiplication of it, let's do the multiplication. I'm going to get a, because they have the same base, I'm going to have -4 plus 7. How much is -4 plus 7?
It's positive 3.
Positive 3. You see how we have the same answer? A to the power of 3, a to the power of 3.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. They'll give us the exact same answer. Don't stress about the way that you have to do it. All right, guys. Okay, it is officially 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sure.
They don't want to finish with the post.
Guys,
let's
finish
my
the
people.
poll.
Let's finish the poll, okay?
Yeah, let's finish the poll and then you guys can get going. Okay.
Let's go. 6%
All right.
left. Let's go, my peeps.
We
Whoever
need
didn't
2
do the
more
poll,
people.
please do the poll.
Okay. Bye, part 2. Guys, we need 2 more people to answer the poll. Oh, there we go. Finally. Whew. Okay.
Ooh,
Now,
okay. Look, I'm taking my screen and we're saying good night to everyone, because you guys know that on the chat we only are good vibes only, okay? Nothing more. And all of you must enjoy your evening. We'll see you on Thursday, my people. Thank you so much, Teacher
Bye,
Coco.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, Burlington, I don't know what that is, but I hope that's for Teacher Yolanda and she'll speak to Teacher Jen about that. Okay, about mathematician. I don't know what the mathematician is. So I'm hoping that she'll be able to help you with that. Neo, what's up?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask a question that I
Yes.
didn't get.
Okay, which one?
The way I calculated it, my answer was -a to the power of -2 over 2a -1. So the way I calculated was canceling the terms that are both the numerator and the denominator. So I'm not sure if I was right or wrong.
Okay, so explain to me, how did your answer look after you canceled it, or after you canceled the one over the other?
And then, ma'am, I took 2a to the power of -2 over -4a to the power of -1. So then my
Okay.
answer gave me -1a to the power of -2 over 2a to the power of -1.
Okay, good. That still makes sense because all you've done is you have simplified the 2 and the -4. That's what you've done. And that's correct. You're absolutely correct. You're just not done. You're not finished. Okay, so you need to keep going. Okay, because remember Teacher Jen's instruction, she said you cannot leave your answer with negative exponents. She doesn't want negative exponents. So you need to make sure that you are flipping them so that they have positive exponents. Okay.
Okay,
so this
yes,
one with the
ma'am.
-2 as an exponent needs to go down, and this one with the -1 as an exponent needs to go up. Okay, because we cannot leave it with negative exponents. You see that now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to.
Thank you.